The CBS reality show The Amazing Race airs its 20th episode this Sunday night. The show follows teams of two in a race around the world as they compete with other teams.
And for the first time, a couple from Madison is in on the race. Dave Brown is a Black Hawk helicopter pilot with the Wisconsin National Guard who spent a year-long deployment in Iraq. His wife, Rachel, is a project manager at Epic.
We sat down with Dave and Rachel, who couldn't divulge a lot of the details of the race. They don't want to give it away, but they did explain why they wanted to have this experience.
It's Dave and I's favorite show. We love that show. It's the only show that we watch religiously. We make sure that we either DVR it or we're sitting on the couch watching it every week.
We'd watch it strategically and try and place ourselves in the contestants' positions. You know, our strengths and weaknesses, who would have done which roadblock, which detour, what have you.
For example, if there was an eating challenge, Dave would make me do it.
I have a bit of a weak stomach. So.
I think
that would have been me. Anything adrenaline related, I would have taken. But, yeah.
Everybody watching that show does that. If they're watching with somebody, okay,
We do that.
Yeah.
So then you applied?
Yes, we applied. Dave was in Iraq for a year, and during his 2-week leave, we met each other in Australia. I printed out the applications, and they were pretty thick applications.
30, 40-page applications.
Yeah, they were
pretty thorough.
Yeah, so we got a 6-pack of beer and filled them out in the hotel one night.
Well, I guess if you really want to test your relationship, this would be a way to do this.
You definitely test the mettle of your relationship.
Did you learn a lot about each other that you didn't know before through this experience?
You know, I think it just further affirmed when we do face difficult challenges and the excessive stressors of the race or even just daily life, those excessive stressors, Rachel and I we're really cohesive as a team.
Was it what you expected? Was it much more difficult than you expected?
Well, I knew that there was some physical aspects to it, but I didn't realize how physical it was. And this is not giving anything away, because within the first 2 minutes of Phil saying, "Go" at the start line, I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Really? I think I would too.
It was so hard.
But how do you prepare for something like this? Did you just, run up and down stairs with backpacks on your back? What did you, I mean?
You know, I think, and actually I did. I would run, I run anywhere from 2 to 4 miles a day normally. And what I would do is I would then run with a rucksack on, a military rucksack with about 40 to 50 pounds on versus just running without. Rachel, however, did very little, if anything at all, physical fitness-wise in preparation for the race. But I would say I didn't do anything mentally or physically more so than just running with the rucksack on. But the military and my training in nearly 16 years in the military did prepare me for every aspect of the race, whether it be the mental or the physical challenge that are presented, or even just the excessive stressors of leadership in a combat environment or leadership even stateside. And I'm sure Rachel's involvement at Epic and the stressors involved with being a project manager at Epic prepared her very well.
Yeah, you travel nonstop almost for Epic. Why would you want to travel more?
Oh, I love traveling, especially overseas travel, because you get to experience all the new cultures, the new food, animals, all different kinds of things.
Well, everyone in the community is so excited to have a Madison couple on this show. Is that a little bit of pressure before the show even premieres?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Is it?
I think it was a lot of pressure on Dave, even when we were taping. I mean, the first day, he was thinking and talking about the military and how he feels like he has to impress people.
You feel you had a target on your back?
I think in some respects, but many of the teams, many of the other contestants, it truly is probably the most competitive season that the race has had to date. You have federal agents, you have Border Patrol agents, you have somebody who was formerly with Big Brother, so they're intricately involved in the drama and reality TV. And it's just, I mean, it's an intense cast, and I think the season will be absolutely phenomenal.
Professional clowns?
Yes, professional clowns. Ambassadors of laughter, I believe.
They're so funny. They're so funny.
Would you do it again?
Oh,
in a heartbeat.
Oh.
I honestly, Rachel and I made the comment to her at one point that it truly, to me, it was the greatest job that I've ever had, other than possibly serving in the military and that honor. But it truly is. You punch the clock when you check in at the initial mat, and then when you're through with that leg of the race or what have you, I mean, that's essentially your job for that afternoon. And what better job than to travel abroad and travel with someone you love.
That's probably the only thing that we didn't agree on, because he looked at it like a job, and I looked at it like, wow, this is a great experience. And I'd be looking at things, and I'd be like, wow, look at that. And he'd be like, come on, focus. You have to get in the game.
Your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, best of luck. Have an amazing race.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I cannot wait to see this. And if you'd like to meet Dave and Rachel in person, they're hosting a premiere party on Sunday night at Madison's on King Street downtown, and the public is invited.
Just don't ask them how it turned out, because they face a $10 million fine if they spill the beans.
Right.
The 20th season of The Amazing Race airs this Sunday night at 7 p.m. right after 60 Minutes.
Oh, Dave and Rachel, good luck.
Good luck, guys. We'll be right back.